Hello everyone, I am Chetan GC from 4th Sem ISC. Today, me and my friends are going to explain you on a topic called embedded systems in a car. So let me introduce my teammates. Myself, Chetan GC, Anuj MR, Vinay HN, Anish K Jain, and Abdul Rakib. So moving on to the introduction. So in automotive systems, more and more equipment are being changed from the mechanical system to electronic systems. Embedded system is the heart of vehicles electronic system just because of its versatility and flexibility. Today, a typical automobile on the road has computer controlled electronic systems and most commonly used embedded systems in a vehicle, which includes airbags, anti lock braking systems, black box, adaptive cruise control, drive by wire, satellite radio, telematics, emission control, traction control, automatic parking, in vehicle entertainment systems, and night vision, and also head up displays, backup collision sensors, navigation system, tire pressure monitor, and climate control. So, next, moving on to the embedded system definition. So, what do you mean by the embedded system? So, an embedded system is a combination of hardware and software which creates a dedicated computer system that performs specific predefined tasks and which is encapsulated within the device as it controls, that is, if it is part of a larger device. So let me move on to the embedded system components. So the components are clustered into software, memory, DA conversion, actuators, aux system power cooling, diagnostic port, user interface, AD conversions, FGPA, that is field programmable gate arrays, and also electromechanical backup safety and external environment. So next comes the characteristics of embedded systems. So firstly, user interface. So next comes real-time operation, and the third comes multi-rate, and the fourth is low manufacturing cost, and the fifth one is low power. So next, moving on to the design process. So the design process starts with the requirement. So requirement may be functional or non-functional. We must capture the basic functions of the embedded system, but functional description is often not sufficient. There are typical non-functional requirements, which includes performance, cost, manufacturing, non-recurring engineering, and physical size and weight. So next comes the specification. So the specification is more precise as it serves the contract between the customer and architects. Here, the specification should be understandable enough so that someone can verify that it meets the specific requirements and overall expectations of the customer, right? It should also be unambiguous. The specification must be carefully written so that it accurately reflects the customer's requirements and the specification of the GPS system, which includes the several components like map data, user interface. So next comes the architectural design. Here, the specification does not say how the system does things, only what the system does. It describes about how the system implements those functions in the purpose of the architecture. So here many implementation details should be refined that system block diagram into the two block diagrams. So one for the hardware and another for the software. So the fourth one is components. So here the components are clustered into hardware and software components. These efforts build those components in conformance to the architecture and specification. The components will in general include both hardware, FPGAs, boards, and so on. As I told you, FGPA is abbreviated as a field programmable gate arrays, and also some of the components will be ready-made. So in the moving map, the receiver is a good example of a specified component that will nonetheless be a predesigned and standard component. So the last one is the system integration. It built or put together and see how the system works. If we debug only a few models at a time, we are more likely to uncover the simple bugs and which is able to easily recognize them. Only by fixing the simple bugs early, we will be able to uncover the more complex or obscure bugs. So next comes the challenges during the design process. So firstly, the hardware. So hardware is the optimizing the microprocessor, ASIPs, that is application specific instruction set processor and single purpose processor in the system, optimizing according to the performance, power dissipation, cost, and the other design metrics in the system. So next comes the deadline. So here the meeting the deadline of all processor in the system while keeping the memory, power dissipation, processor clock rate, and the cost at the minimum is a challenge. So the third one is power consumption. Here the clock rate reduction, operation voltage reduction, wait, stop, and keep disable instructions like clever real-time programming. It is by using of wait and stop instructions by disabling or controlling certain units when not needed is one of the method of saving power during programmable execution. The fourth one is upgradability. So here the upgradability is the ability to offer the different versions of a product for marketing and offering the product in advanced version. Later on, the fifth comes reliability. So here designing reliability product by appropriate design and thorough testing, verification and validation is the challenge. So the further topics will be explained by Anujamar.
Okay, thank you, Chetan. Myself, Anuj. A warm wishes to everyone. I'm here to explain about the embedded system used in cars. So as you all know, that a car contains a airbag system, a navigation system, adaptive current control, a rain sensing, automatic parking system, automatic night vision, time pressure, electric instrument cluster, head-up display, ABS, that means anti-braking system, drive-by-wire, intelligent current control, parking system, and emission control system. So let me talk about the embedded airbag system. So it is an important safety device that provides extra protection against head-on crash for the other front seat occupants. This system works on the command from a microcontroller. The controller of this system get the power from battery. If the sensor detects accident, the microcontroller operates the airbag system by operating alternator. So let me talk about the principle of that airbag. So as you can see in the image, that the image that is before impact and after impact of the airbags. So it is from the Newton's second law of motion. The airbag are among the most important safety improvements added to the cars and light trucks in the recent years for providing extra protection for front seat occupants in head-on crashes, and later for every passenger protection also. So let me talk about the navigation system. The another advancement of the embedded system in automobile is the navigation system using GPS systems. This navigation system consists of the embedded circuitry built with the GPS receivers, a gyroscope, and a DVD-ROM main controller and a display system as shown in the figure. The GPS receiver receives the current longitude and latitude values that are compared with the stored map. The gyroscope and the other sensors provide the road direction and speed. From all the information gathered in the main controller, the display system displays the navigation or route map of the destination in the display screen. Okay, then let me talk about the ACC. That means adaptive cruise control. Here, uh, the innovation of the embedded system used in automobile is adaptive curl control. That means ACC technology. By using this technology, we can also make driverless vehicle control in recently, and many automobile manufacturers are also already engaged in working of these concepts. This adaptive curl control, that means in ACC, allows the car to keep a safe distance from other vehicles in the busy highway roads. The driver of the car can set the speed of the vehicle and the distance between his car and the other vehicle. When the traffic is slow down, the ACC changes the vehicle speed using the moderate braking. Each car has a laser transmission or a wave radar unit which is fixed in front of the car to find out the speed and the distance of the any other vehicles in the path. This this is works on the principle of Doppler effect. It is nothing but changes the frequency of the waves. So as you can see in the diagram, this is called ACC technology. This vehicle curl control set at 70 kmph. For example, if a driver sets the highest kmph into 70, that then the car will not go beyond that. Then the radar detects the slower vehicles ahead and reduces the speed to return the vehicle to safe for following distances. Then the curl control adjusts the lead vehicle's speed and resets the original speed in the traffic clears. So thank you. So this was my topic. Then the upcoming slides will be explained by Vinay. Over to you, Vinay.
Thank you, Anuj. Hello everyone, myself Vinay from 4th semester ISC department. I am going to explain about embedded rain sensing. Yeah, here you see this system to automate the wiper system having no need for manual intervention. For this purpose, we use rain sensor along with the microcontroller and driver IC to drive the wiper motor. This system uses rain sensor to detect rain. The signal is then processed by microcontroller to take the desired action. The rain sensor works on the principle of using water for completing its circuit. So when rain falls on it, its circuit gets completed and sends out a signal to the microcontroller. The microcontroller now processes this data and drives the motor IC to perform required action. The motor driver IC now drives a servo motor to simulate as a car wiper. Then let us see embedded based automatic parking system. This automatic parking system is an independent car manipulating system that moves a car from traffic lane into a parking spot to perform the parallel parking, perpendicular parking, and a angle parking. This system mainly uses different methods to detect objects around the car. Sensors installed on the front of the vehicle and rear bumpers acts as both a transmitter and a receiver. These sensors send a signal that will be replicated back when it meets obstacle near the vehicle, and then the computer will receive the time signal and bumper will use the radar to decide the position of the obstacle. Then the car will sense the parking space and distance from the side of the road, then drive the car into the parking place. Then let me talk about automatic night vision. An automotive night vision system uses a thermographic camera to increase a driver's perception and seeing distance in darkness or poor weather beyond the reach of the vehicle's headlights. Such systems are offered as optional equipment on certain premium vehicles. The first introduction was in 2000 on Cadillac DeVille. Tire pressure monitoring system. A tire pressure monitoring system is an electronic system designed to monitor the air pressure inside the pneumatic tires on various types of vehicles. TPMS report real-time tire pressure information to the driver of the vehicle, either via a gauge, a pictogram display, or a simple low pressure warning light. TPMS can be divided into two different types, direct TPMS and indirect TPMS. TPMS are provided both at an OEM level as well as an aftermarket solution. The target of a TPMS is avoiding traffic accidents, poor fuel economy, and increased tire wear due to underinflated tires through early recognition of a hazardous state of the tires. The next slides will be explained by Anish. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Anish. I'll be taking a topic on electronic instrument cluster. Yeah, in the diagram we can see that in an automobile, an electronic instrument cluster, digital instrument panel or digital dash for short, is a set of instrumentation including the speedometer that is displayed with a digital readout rather than with the traditional analog gauge. Many refer to it simply as a digital speedometer. Next, we'll see about head-up display. An automotive head-up display projects a virtual image on a windshield, which is usually specially treated or on a combiner. This virtual image is often projected such that it appears near the center of the driver's visual field, approximately at the end of the automobile's hood. The image is usually fairly small, covering only few degrees of the driver visual field. Automotive head-up display are used to display a variety of information of drivers, typically speedometer and warning light information. A head-up display that lets drivers use navigation and their phones without taking their eyes. Next, let us look on anti-braking system. Up until the 70s, hitting the brakes was too hard that would lead to an accident. On preventing wheel lockup, reduces the total braking distance as far as possible, and it also increases the stability of the vehicle. Now let us see about drive-by-wire. Drive-by-wire replaces mechanical connections, push rods, rack and pinion, steering columns, overhead cams, cables by mechatronic connections, sensors, actuators, embedded microprocessors, and control software. Thank you. Further part will be explained by Abdurraqib.
Thank you, Anish. Myself, Abdurraqib from 4th ISC department. Today, I'm going to talk about intelligent cruise control. So, cooperative adaptive cruise control with